Can you believe we're at round 12 of the Trans-Nation Challenge here at the Belgium Grand Prix? Situated in Staviet, Belgium, this 7-kilometre circuit is one of the longest circuits on the F1 calendar, 19 turns, each with its own unique characteristics, and of course the infamous Eau Rouge, turn 3, 4 and 5. The drivers today will tackle this short qualifying session with the ultra soft, the super soft and the soft tyre at their disposal. And of course our winner from last season's beta test was Westlingon in the Mercedes. So both Ferraris head out to the circuit, as well as a few other drivers. We do not have M. Verche today, as well as a few others. So Guy Tasker, of course, this is where you made your Trans-Nation Challenge debut. Pole position on your first run, but didn't quite go there in the race.
No, I enjoy the track a lot. It's probably my favourite track on the calendar to watch as well as to race around. I find it's a challenging circuit, challenging to get the setup right, which I'm sure we'll see from a few guys today. Do you want to maximise the straight speed, or do you want to go for the downforce through the middle sector? But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Good to be back after the break last week. Obviously, it was the test, but yeah, looking forward to it.
One of the most commonplace questions that has been asked by a lot of people outside of YouTube and whatnot is what happened in the beta test. So probably throughout the next couple of weeks you might see a corresponding video that will explain what happened in the race, because of course we weren't broadcasting this due to a lack of commentary. So just watching Stuart McKenzie 2 at the moment. He's just warming up his tyres, about to set a lap. The benchmark setter of the mid-season test for F1, which sounds a little weird when you think about it, but it was on the account of the brothers not actually being at the test itself. Very comprehensive test for all the drivers, F1, F2. We'll talk about the F2 one in the GP3, because of course that's where most of the drivers come from for F2, but at the moment, back to business, back to strategic options, and yeah, it's like you say, it's really, you've got to maximise what kind of car you want. If you want a car that's good in the straight line, but really atrocious through Sector 2, then you go for a higher wing, and then if you want a car that looks after its tyres, maximises Sector 2, but is slow as a snail on the straight, then we'll see. So just now, I don't know if he's actually the first driver out on the track. We'll just think it could be actually Habs for life. Yeah, I think it's Habs for life on the first flyer.
Yeah, I think it might be.
So we'll check him out. Of course, the invitational driver for from GP3. Currently every driver so far, and just to clarify something for those probably wondering who V6 Racer Z is, that is Rohan Rowe 2. He's joined an esports community that forces you to make a new username with V6 blank and then Z at the end. So not what I'd call ethical. I mean, if I had the choice, I'd probably make everyone put TNC at the start of their usernames. But
ENC Donkey.
Yeah. Well, next season I'll be going by my usual PSN of Delta Neo X. So
that'll be. Seen Stuart McKenzie's coming up to a bit of traffic here. He's got a Renault in front of him.
And that would be the Renault.
He's on a flyer. He's got out of the way nicely.
Yes, and that's going Z28, who we thought would actually be a little underhanded this weekend, but I think he kind of played what he did. Someone's had an off, and that's actually Table Clan.
Birdie's off as well.
Oh, yes, too. So 2 simultaneous accidents. So Habs for Life pulls a 147.2, which is not entirely bad, especially for a GP3 driver.
He's an invitational driver,
so Stuart McKenzie 2 only a 44.8, so that's still not even there. V6 Racer now with a 44.1.
Yeah, nice.
Kart now goes to P2 with a 44.4. Pure Axel does a 45 flat. And Going Z only a 53.6.
Yeah, I think he must have backed out because he was going very slow, as we say. Stuart McKenzie caught up with him pretty quickly, so I think he must have made a mistake and backed out of it, and he's going for a second run now by the looks of things.
I would say that Yeah, I wouldn't say Stuart would be too happy about that one in a way. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how long he was actually held up for, but in saying that, so Warlords hasn't. No, Warlords has actually come back in. So I don't know if he's. Although in saying that, oh no, here's his teammate, Command 69. So he's out doing a flyer. Where's RCD? Oh, RCDV just made a huge error coming through Blushamont, heading into the bus stop.
Very smooth through there.
It's a pretty reasonable time, regardless. It's must have been invalidated because he's.
Yeah, must have been.
So Beardy's done a 2-minute 5.3.
Oh, scorching.
Oh, that's unbelievable. I can't believe that. Command's actually up by 3 seconds in Sector 1, but I'm not really sure what that's supposed to signify. But
no.
If it was 3 seconds, I mean, let's put it this way: if he was 3 seconds faster into Sector 1, he'd be on course for a 1:41,
which would be huge pace.
Which that would be probably on the pace of the brothers, but he just made
easily,
just made an error going into I can't actually remember the name of that long sweeping hander. It's Potang or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Going Z's improved to a 45.3, which has put him up to P5, and Pure Axel's now just gotten to the 44s himself with a 44.5. Stuart McKenzie 2's gone ahead of Cart now with a 44.3. So we're just watching Conman to see what he's going to pull out. I don't think it's going to be anything too extravagant. And in fact, he's actually
he's abandoned it.
Oh, every time I see that pit lane, I cringe.
It's a nasty pit lane on entry and exit.
For those wanting to know, it's a personal perspective. This is the only track I've scored a DNF in since the TNC started. And I was coming into pit lane because I was challenging my fellow commentator here and Westland gone for the race win. Probably would have won if I hadn't done what I did, and that was turn in too early and gave the pit wall entry a good glance that ripped my front wheel off. It was that kind of glitch that you hit the pit wall, it then spawns you back onto the track with a wheel missing. So,
right.
So not one of them. To that moment, until Baku this season, it was down as the most embarrassing crash of TNC history. So, thanks to Noek 3712, I can finally take that one off my list.
Yeah, well, and David at Spain.
Dave.
Like Mamba at Spain.
Yeah, that was quite embarrassing himself. So, just looking now at Stuart McKenzie 2, looks like he's going for another run because obviously he wants that pole position. But in saying that, he's aborting this one as well. So 3 minutes on the clock. Rohan Rowe, or V6 Racer Z, as we probably should now refer to him as, could be on set for his first pole of the season and his first of his career in general, because he didn't quite achieve much in F1 before deciding to move down to F2 or GP2. So I'm starting to get season 2018 in the brain, but
yeah.
So Warlords still hasn't set a time yet, but that does give him a tyre advantage if he does decide to. Interestingly enough, though, nobody has done what they've. Actually, that's a scary prospect. Rohan.
He's on the super soft.
Yeah, V6 Racer's done his fastest lap on the super soft. So that's.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So he's going for the one stop, but the two Ferraris are definitely running a different game. That could be catastrophic. And Pure Axel's also done his 44.5 on the super softs as well. So is Habs for Life. Warlords obviously looks like he's just going to go for the fastest lap. He's not obviously too keen about strategy. And V6 Racer's now pulled out of it.
He's happy.
Well, with a 44.1, they're going to have to. The drivers are going to have to pull out
on the supers,
on ultras. Who's going to want to ruin a set of ultras just to try and set the fastest lap?
It's not worth it.
Basically, it's like anything. If anyone sets the fastest time on a harder compound than you, then you basically know that you're not going to be able to pull out the stops unless you really use up your tyres to do so. And Belgium has a very horrible degradation rate, so if you use too much tyre up, you've kind of put yourself in a bone. So I'm a bit surprised to see both Stuart McKenzie 2 and Cart going back out for another run. In fact, Pure Axel's gone out.
Yeah.
Pure Axel's just
I
switched
suppose they
his
feel
tyre
like they've still got quite a lot of time left there. They're missing out on at the moment, so well, guessing that was everyone deciding they've done what they can.
So interestingly in this,
so I think Warlords is about to set a time. I think
Going Z actually did
must have just been starting on now.
Yeah, I think he was on his out.
Warlords, Table Clan, and Conman I think are all on flying laps. It's Cart on flying lap? No, I think he's just starting on.
Yeah, bit surprised to see Table Clan not set a time yet, although he did have that spin early in the session. But yeah, Warlord's obviously just looking for the balance. We'll see what's his first sector is. A 30 is about quite average. So 30.1 into sector 1, that's pretty good. Just gets a bit wide coming out of whatever turn numbers those are. I think that's 5 and 6.
Table Clan was on a 30.6 through the first sector. So
I mean, if we could find some sector ratios in 2018, that would be quite good.
Yeah, that would be nice. Well, Table Clan's just about to come across the line now to set his time.
And he sets...
He's got enough fuel for another lap, so he may well go for another one.
He goes to
P8.
He goes P5.
I wouldn't recommend going for another one, though. If he's on the... Unless he is going to go... He'd very much be committing to a 2-stop if he goes for the...
Yeah.
Goes for another lap now, which I think he is.
So, Conman hasn't crossed the line yet, but he'll be the next driver to do it. So he's about to come through, just coming out of Blochmont, heading to the bus stop. Oh, almost didn't pull it up in time, but managed to squeeze it through. Bit of a rear slide.
Ooh, yeah, bit of a tank slapper.
A 45.9, that puts him P8. That's still not too bad. So here comes Warlords. So far been quite the impressionable qualifier. So let's see. Oh, he got right on the power really early. Sets a 44.3, goes P2 with that one. So
what can Cart and Mackenzie are both gonna reply now? So here comes Cart up to the bus stop.
And Cart will want to have to out-qualify Mackenzie because this is a critical track. So let's see. Cart's going to go into the 43s.
Ooh, yep, 43.8. There we go.
But that to me means that the Ferraris are worried about VZ's pace, and someone's actually just gone horrendously wide, and that was actually Table Clan.
I think he was just letting Stuart McKenzie through.
So that's basically ruined Table Clan's chance of another fastest lap. But yeah, I think Ferrari have called it wrong. I actually honestly think they've called it wrong on this one.
It's going to be interesting to see come the race, that's for sure. How the strategies are going to play out, it's hard to tell. Will we get rain? I mean,
well, that could be. I mean, that's
option.
The thing that we're not looking at and overlooking, but we'll see anyway. But here comes Stuart McKenzie 2. I don't think it's going to be faster. Oh no, but it's it is a Ferrari.
Front row lockout for Ferrari.
Yeah, first Ferrari lockout since beta test round 2. So it's been a long time in waiting for Ferrari to finally do a front row lockout. Table Clan's into the pit, so we obviously going to have to wait for him to retire. But either way, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think Ferrari have kind of made a mistake by committing to a 2-stop. Really, I mean, tyre degradation around this track is pretty bad, but
yeah, those ultra softs don't last many laps at all.
The interesting thing too about it is that the only reason we can say this is because when we did the beta test race here, it started dry and then turned wet, so it didn't, his tyre strategy wasn't exactly a compounding figure. But I mean, for all we know, it could be raining in the race. It's just a matter of waiting and seeing what happens. So current order, really, I think at the moment the best positioned car is probably V6 Racer Z in the Toro Rosso. And of course, Toro Rosso haven't won a race since.
It'll be interesting to see if V6 Racer can keep it with Cart and Stuart McKenzie at the start of the race, obviously being on the slightly harder compound. See if he can I mean, his pace in qualifying would definitely imply that he could, so it'd be interesting to see.
Well, it sets an example of what he could have set on the
Yeah. Oh yeah.
ultras. So either
It's a
way,
long track. There's a lot of time to be found in ultras.
exactly. So here is your lineup for this weekend's GP2 race. So Kart on pole, his first pole as a Ferrari driver, and Stuart McKenzie 2 will make it a Ferrari lockout. V6 Racer Z on third with Warlords, an impressive fourth. Pure Axel on the Super Softs and P5 from Table Clan. Going Z28, RZDV 2000, Comman 69, Beardy, and the Invitational Habs for Life makes up P11. So what are we going to see? Stay tuned to find out.